guys, what's up? Welcome back here to today's edition of Intuitive Angling, and much appreciated you guys checking today's video out. We are going to be talking about the continued fallout on Bassmaster's decision to slash the payout for the Elite Series Pros in 2025. And one of the things I want to address today, which a lot of people haven't thought about, is how this is going to be a huge boost and a benefit to the spotlighters, and it's going to be a huge kick in the balls to all the guys that fish traditional real bass fishing techniques on the Elite Series. So we're going to get into that in today's video. But real quick, guys, I wanted to let you know something. Today is the first day of the Black Friday sale at Tackle Warehouse. Guys, they have got a ton of unbelievable deep discounts on tackle. I'll put my Tackle Warehouse link in the description in this video if you guys would like to take advantage of that, and using that link's a good way to support the channel and get you some good tackle at the same time. Now, we've been talking about this for the last 3 or 4 days, guys, about Bassmasters' boneheaded decision they made to, on the surface, having no entry fees, what sounded great until you read the fine print, where they basically slashed the payout down to nothing, to where 40th place in the tournament on the Elite Series now next year is going to be $500 for 40th place. So, which pros are just completely freaked out, outraged about it. But one of the byproducts from this, a lot of people haven't understood, is how this move, if Bassmaster does not reverse this decision, which I sort of expect them to reverse it because of all the outrage against it, but if they don't, how this is going to be just another thing that helps the spotlighters and the guys that are connected to the cheater box through their umbilical cord, and the real bass anglers that fish real bass fishing techniques and have put their time in. It's going to cause them to suffer even further, because here's what's going to happen. It's like right now, the way the structure is set up on the Elite Series, they pay the $100,000 for first, which is great if you win that, and 10th place is down to $10,000. So it used to be 50th place was $10,000, but now 10th place is $10,000. So in essence, in order to have any type of a profit on the tournament, you're going to have to make the top 10 in the tournament, because if you finish, below 20th place, you're going to lose money every tournament. You're going to win $500, $700 for 30th place or something like that, and it's going to cost you $2,000 to get there, expenses. So even if you finish in 30th place, you're going to wind up losing money. So in the past, what has happened is the traditional bass anglers, the guys that fish real bass fishing techniques, they simply could not compete against the guys using the cheater box, because the cheater box is tapping in to a population of those bigger protected fish that need to be protected out there. And, they have an artificial crutch in helping them catch fish. So in essence, the guys that fish the traditional real bass fishing techniques, it's like they're in a boxing match with one hand tied behind their back against the spotlighters. But even so, it's like they were still able to occasionally get checks, and once in a while, everything, the stars lined up perfect, they'd have a high finish in a tournament. But for the most part, if you're a real bass fisherman on the Bassmaster Elite Series circuit, which there's not many of them anymore out there, you could fish the way that you wanted to fish, and if you were really efficient at your traditional bass fishing techniques, you could cash a check, qualify for the Classic, come out of that tournament with $10,000 every tournament. But now, if you're a traditional bass fisherman and you're fishing with your hand tied behind your back, and you still go ahead and make that 30th or 40th place check, you're going to be getting $500 or $600 for it now. While all the spotlighters that finish in the top 10 every tournament are going to continue to take the majority of the small pie that's left over there. So this is going to further degrade the amount of anglers out there that fish traditional bass fishing techniques, and it's going to, in my opinion, it's going to make it completely irrelevant whatsoever. You are not moving forward. If you make a check or have any type of a windfall profit or a top 10 in the Bassmaster Elite Series tournament by real bass fishing techniques, it's like you've won the lottery. It's going to be so rare for anybody to do that, because you're going to see, since people now are forced to try to fish to win, because that's the only way you can make money is by finishing in the top 5 in the tournament, they're going to gamble more, and they're going to be fishing techniques that allow them to make those top 5 finishes, which means even a greater, more extensive use of the cheater box. So right now, if you look at anybody that usually wins or finishes high in a tournament, it's usually it's all in on the forward facing sonar, or there's partial use of it. I can't remember the last time where I've seen a tournament where they didn't say, yeah, I used my forward facing sonar in correlation with whatever like that. I used it some, but I didn't use it all the time. Other people said they never took their eyes off of it. Other people said they, used it in some way, shape, or form, which taints the results of a tournament. So this is just another one of those things. It's just like, it just continues to go down this wrong path here. It's like every single thing that they have done, every single thing that Bassmaster has done over the past 5 years has completely degraded the sport and completely kneecapped guys that have spent decades and decades and decades honing their craft. Because I've talked to a lot of them guys. I've talked to a lot of the anglers out there that were forward-facing sonar hammers that qualified for classics before forward-facing sonar. Every one of them have told me the same thing. They go, everything that I've learned about fishing, everything that I've tried to perfect in my art form, everything that I've spent decades, fine-tuning my craft and bass fishing is worthless now. It's absolutely worthless in the age of spotlighting for bass. So, we've all talked about this before, about how it's no different than using a drone to find deer. It's the same thing, but this is just one more byproduct that a lot of people haven't seen. Is this payout structure, that the way they've seen it, it's going to further eliminate traditional bass fishing to the point where it doesn't even exist anymore. Technology, if this stays in place, is going to have a 100% domination on the sport, regardless of the venue, regardless of the time of the year. I don't care if they're bed fishing in April and every fish is up on the bank, they're still going to be spotlighting bass off of bedding fish. They're still going to be spotlighting bass that are sitting underneath the boat dock. It just never ends. So, we've reached a precipice in the sport through Bassmaster that has just, it's disgusted most people out there. It's disgusted 75 to 80% of the bass fishing public. And for whatever reason, Bassmaster continues to kowtow and to listen to the 25% of the vocal minority out there that have their umbilical cord connected to that cheater box, and they've got their heels dug in. And it's, there's a lot of different reasons for that, but that is the reality of the situation. So, like I said, if you guys get a chance, go out there and try to show your support for NPFL, National Professional Fishing League. They eliminated and made forward-facing sonar illegal for the 2025 season. Show their support to that. If you're not fishing the tournament, just let them know how much you appreciate that. And hopefully one of these days we'll get something changed here. So talk to you guys later. See you.